In previous examples, we've looked at creating both links where I link to another page inside of my existing website and internal links where I'm linking to a different place inside of the page that I'm currently on. But what happens if I want to link to a page that was outside of my site? Well, that's real easy to do using our existing anchor tag. So let's take a look at that real quick. Here I have a sample page. You can see that. And I'm just going to add a couple of external links to the bottom of this page. I'm going to go to my code. And here I have my section. And then I'm going to, after that, before I get to the end of that section, I'm just going to add some new paragraphs, each one with an external link. Now, these can be to any website, any domain, but we're going to pick some real common ones. That way we know that they're going to work. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to put this in a paragraph. You could do this in a lot of different ways. Paragraphs are nice and simple. So I have a paragraph tag, and let's say I'm going to create So I have my paragraph, and then I'm going to create my anchor tag. href, and I'm going to come back and fill that in just a minute. And so I have my closing anchor tag. Now my mouse cursor right now is in between my opening and closing tags. This is my anchor text. I can put this with anything I need. So I'm going to put the website I'm going to go to real quick, and it's going to be Google. Okay. Now if I want to go to Google, I'm obviously not working for Google. I don't have link to put something on their site. Therefore, I need to use an external reference. To use an external reference, the most common and easiest way is, first off, I need to define my protocol. https://. A lot of old sites use HTTP, and that's short for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That's basically how the web is sent back and forth, how it sends text back and forth. The S stands for secure. So it's Hypertext Transfer Protocol secure. And that just means all of our data is encrypted. Google is a huge force behind making everyone move to HTTPS. Then I'm going to specify any subdomain if necessary. That would be something like www. Now, the subdomain is not required, or I could have multiple subdomains. So you want to make sure you get that right. Google.com, and then another /. And that will link me externally. I'm going to save this real quick. Reload my screen. Notice here is my Google link. If I click on it, Google.com comes up inside my information. When I click on it, you notice that Google.com comes up right here inside of my browser window. Now it's the exact same browser tab that I had before. So I'm going to say, well, what happens if I want to make it so I link and open up inside of a new tab? Well, that's real easy. I'm going to come here and say target. And you're going to notice a lot of these targets here that are available to me. Now, most of these are not really relevant with HTML5. And that's because HTML5 doesn't use frames the way that previous versions of HTML did. But that doesn't mean that it can't be used. And so target is still a valid reference. The reference I'm going to be looking at using is going to be underscore blank. And you notice that in my example, Visual Studio Code, it goes in here and it loads you're noticing using Visual Studio Code that it puts it here as a common attribute value that you can put in. So I'm just going to choose blank. I'm going to reload this, click on Google, and notice real quick when I move my browser window, you can see that, hey, I've got two separate tabs here. One for the tab on the page that I was on, and one for a new tab. And it automatically creates a new tab for me. That's what that target blank is all about. And so if you need to open up an external website, you give it the protocol reference and the whole domain name. Now, if I need to go to a specific page within Google or any other website, I would obviously give it the rest of the name, subfolders, and then the file name and the extension. In this case, I was just going to the domain, so I just put in google.com. And then once again, I can use a target optionally if I want to put it into a new window. So this is nice because I can say, oh, I'm done using this. I close it. I'm still on my website. I don't have to go, oh, where was I as an end user? This just makes it a lot easier for me. In earlier days of web, there was a lot of different protocols we had to know because you might go to a Gopher site or an FTP site or any one of those other types of sites. Nowadays, you're almost exclusively going to be using HTTPS. There are still a few old websites that are not switched to HTTPS, in which case you use HTTP, but that's pretty rare. The only other one that you might use would be FTP. That's not very common either anymore. Most of this is done through a web interface, so you can focus on that. And that is going to be how you're going to link to an external website within your own web page.